What's up, everybody? It's your girl. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be going through my top 50 comics in my comic collection. So hope you guys are ready for this. So let's go. So the process for this was very difficult because I have quite a big comic collection, and there's so many comics that I really love in my collection because I mostly get the comics that like mean the most to me, or characters that mean the most to me. So trying to go through my whole collection to pick out my top 50 comics was very difficult. Yeah, it's gonna be a combination of both single issues and also graphic novels, so both new and old. So I figured I would start at number 50, and that is actually a recent comic that I picked up at Baltimore Comic-Con, and that is the variant cover of Spider-Woman, which is a homage to Amazing Spider-Man 300. So, really love this cover, and I love Spider-Woman, as most of you probably know. So, I had seen this cover when the series was like a while ago, but I wasn't able to get it until now, so I'm glad I was able to snag this. Number 49 is also a variant cover. That's definitely one of my favorites. This was when Marvel Comics released all these variants of Marvel Comics number 1000. So since I love Storm a lot, I had to get this variant cover of Storm, the Mutant Queen, one of my favorites. So this honestly is like one of my favorite covers that I have of Storm. I love her so much. Number 48 is another variant cover of a recent Fantastic Four issue, and it has probably my favorite Marvel female character of all time on it, and of course that is Invisible Woman. Honestly, I had to get this because I just love Sue so much, and this cover shows many different versions of her, so I had to. Number 47. Number 47 is Marvel Team Up number 10 with Spider-Man and Human Torch, featuring an appearance of Kang the Conqueror. So I've been picking up a lot of these team-ups lately because they're really cool to read, and Spider-Man and Human Torch have a kind of a love-hate relationship of sorts, kind of like a bromance. I love their banter back and forth. It's so funny. And since Kang is a really amazing villain, and given that he's coming to the MCU, I had to bring this out. So I really hope that we get to see Spider-Man and Human Torch interact in MCU. That would be amazing. Number 46 is The Web of Spider-Man, number 70, which is the appearance of Spider-Hulk. And the funny part about this comic is I actually got a trading card years and years ago with this Spider-Hulk on it, and I finally was able to find this comic, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get it. So, Spider-Hulk. That's honestly a pretty scary combination. Number 45 is Web of Spider-Man number 100, which is introducing the spider armor suit of Spider-Man, which I think is pretty cool. And I think they actually have this armor on the Spider-Man PS4 game too, which I think it's awesome that they added it in. But I really love this cover. It's a foil cover, which I love foil covers a lot. So it's just so shiny. Number 44 is another character I'm really excited to see in the MCU, and that is the Sensational She-Hulk. This is Sensational She-Hulk number 1. It's not her first appearance, but it's I think the second run of this character. I'm still learning a lot about She-Hulk, and she's really cool, and I can't wait for her to for her show to come out on Disney Plus. After seeing that trailer for it, it looks so cool. Number 43. Number 43 is Amazing Spider-Man Giant Size Annual number 21, which is when Peter and MJ get married. And man, it looks like there's a lot of different characters who show up. So I love Spidey. Number 42 is Namor the Submariner, number 8. And part of the reason why I got this cover is because the Thing is on it, and they've had several battles over the years. Given Namor's history with Fantastic Four, it's only relevant that he shows up somehow in Submariner comics. And I'm really hoping that they bring Namor into the mix too, into the MCU. That would be very interesting to see with the rest of the Fantastic Four, and also even the X-Men too, because I know he has history with both teams. So number 41 is Amazing Spider-Man number 210, and this actually is the first appearance of Madam Web, who is a very interesting character in the Spider-Verse universe. So it'd be cool to see her show up at some point, because there's just so much they can do with anyone from the Spider-Verse. So I had to include that. Number 40 is Wonder Man number 1, which is, I believe, I don't know if it's the first appearance, but this is his first issue in his own solo series. So Wonder Man, I don't really know a lot about him, but I'm slowly trying to expand my knowledge into the rest of the Marvel Universe, and Wonder Man is one of them. I know that he has connections with Vision, and also, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank right now. But I know he has connections with Vision, and that his, yeah, so I'm I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I had to include this somehow because I'm very curious about his character in general. Coming in at number 39 is Power Pack number 1. The Power Pack is basically a group of siblings, and they all have different powers. I know that the Power Pack and their parents came very close with the Richards family, and I know Franklin Richards spent some time with them at some point in the comics. So I have a few issues of this run, but not all of them, so I'm still learning about the Power Pack as well. Coming in at number 38 is Fantastic Four number 15, which this is volume 3. So this is actually the first appearance of Valeria Richards, who is the daughter of Reed and Sue Richards of Fantastic Four. Her history is kind of complicated, her origin story, that is. Not to get into much detail, but it's just very complicated and a little confusing at times, but those of you who know the character know what I'm talking about. So, but one thing I will say about Valeria, she is definitely one of the smartest people in the Marvel Universe, and she's, if not the same level of intellect, but even smarter than her father is, so had to include that. Alright. Number 37 is actually a graphic novel, and it is actually one of my favorite Fantastic Four runs of all time. This is the Mark Waid run of Fantastic Four, and actually I got him to sign this graphic novel when I went to Comic-Con quite a few years ago. So a lot happens in this run, actually. I just love the artwork and just the overall story in general. So if you have not read this run of Fantastic Four, I highly recommend picking up and seeing how you like it, because it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. Alright. Number 36 is actually a very recent comic run that came out, and I know that me and my co-host Sanimation05, we did a whole comic review on this entire series earlier this year, and I had to include it in this list because it is definitely one of my favorite stories of my favorite Queen of Marvel, Invisible Woman. So this series kind of dives into Sue's past, and not just like with her powers, it shows a whole nother side of Sue that we haven't seen before until now. She actually worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. as a spy and did a lot of undercover missions with another agent named Aiden. And so you see her go on this entire adventure trying to figure out what's going on with some students that went missing. And so Sue is definitely the person to call when espionage is involved because of her powers. So I think if you have not read this series, it's definitely worth picking up because it's amazing, and just the artwork is amazing, and just the overall story. I was just like in heaven reading this, because she has not had her own solo run. Of all the years that she's been in Marvel Comics, she has not had her own series before until now. So I was like gushing over this when it came out. And I did bring out all the different covers, the whole series, so just briefly show them to you. So issue 1. Oh, and another Marvel Queen that makes an appearance is Black Widow. So I was really excited that they included Black Widow in this story too. This is issue 3, issue 4, issue 5. So, again, highly recommend you read this if you haven't already. So, number 35 is another one of my favorite Storm covers, and this is Uncanny X-Men number 290. So, as I said, I really love Storm a lot, and so I actually have 2 copies of this cover because I love it so much. So I think this is pretty self-explanatory at this point. Oh yeah, and here's the other one. So number 34 is Fantastic Four number 369, and I know that that this is actually an Infinity War crossover event with the whole Infinity War storyline, but they included some of it in the Fantastic Four regular run during the time. So I kind of like this cover because, like, just the effects that they put into it, like the whole like title, and how well, actually it's not Sue, it's Malice, Mistress of Hate, which is Sue's dark side, but she's kind of front and center, and it's really interesting to look at, actually. So number 33 is The Thing number 1. Again, huge shout out to my Yancey Street Syndicate fam. So I started collecting these this run a while ago. I don't know how many issues of this run I have, but I look everywhere I go for it because it's the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing. And he's awesome, so had to. So, number 32 is a pretty cool cover and a really awesome character. So this is Ghost Rider number 15, and this is actually a glow-in-the-dark cover too. So I think I've actually shared a video of it before on my page, but Ghost Rider is just awesome, and I really, really hope that they bring him into the MCU, which I know there are probably plans for them to do that, but I just really love Ghost Rider. He's more on the darker side of Marvel, but he's still cool, so I had to. Alright, number 31. We're almost halfway there. Number 31 is there are multiple covers of this comic, and I have both of them. So this is Fantastic Four number 371, And I know the original, this is the original cover, which I know probably from this point of view it looks like there's nothing on it, but there is, but it's all white. So it's like embossed, I think that's the word. Like there's a design on it, and you can see the title, and the Human Torch is clearly front and center. It's something very like dramatic happens in this issue, and I think that kind of is shown on this cover, and this is the same thing, but it's red. Sorry about the glare. This one is red. So I have both comics. So coming into the top 30 is Amazing Spider-Man King Size Special number 7. Some appearances by the Vulture, the Chameleon, and a guy named Joe. This is probably one of the oldest comics I have, and of course, since it's Spider-Man, it's a given. Number 29 is actually one of my favorite What If comics. So this is What If number 1, and this is when Spider-Man joins the Fantastic Four, which is what he tried to do way back when in Amazing Spider-Man number 1. But Fantastic Four was like, no, we don't accept new members. Sorry. So this is asking the question, what if he did? So I know Spider-Man has a lot of history with Fantastic Four, and that's actually how I came across Fantastic Four, is through Spider-Man comics, so I had to bring this out. So if he did join the Fantastic Four, they would be Fantastic Five. Number 28 is Daredevil number 181, and this isn't a first appearance, but this is actually the death of Elektra, and it's very sad because despite Matt's relationship with Karen Page, Elektra, he has a different type of relationship with her, and we kind of see that in the Daredevil series on Netflix. So very, very sad issue. He loses a partner and companion, and it's just really sad. But I had to include it in this list because it's kind of important. Number 27 is Captain America and the Falcon, number 195. And so I had to include this because another character I really love is Captain America, and I know he has a pretty tight friendship with the Falcon in comics and in the movies too. So I had to include this, and so So I guess in this issue they're time traveling to 1984. So number 26 is Avengers number 129. Another appearance of Kang, of course, because he has history with the Avengers as well. And so not just the Fantastic Four, but also the Avengers. And I'm sure we will see that very soon in the MCU. Can't believe that they're actually bringing Kang the Conqueror into the MCU. Like, things are about to get crazy. Alright. Coming in at number 25, so we are officially halfway done. So, this this storyline is a very big one in Marvel Universe. We have seen it sort of unfold in the MCU so far, in the Infinity Saga. So I think this was very relevant to bring out. And this is the Infinity Gauntlet's storyline featuring Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet. And actually, when I went to Comic-Con a couple years ago, Jim Starlin was there, who is the creator of Thanos. I think he created Gamora and Drax the Destroyer as well. So he was there, which was really cool, and I got him to sign this graphic novel for me, so I really love this storyline, and I'm glad that they picked Thanos for the first saga of movies in the MCU, because it was amazing. And Josh Brolin just crushed the role of Thanos, for sure. He did an awesome job. Alright. So, number 24 is Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 101, and the reason why I picked this one is, I don't think it's a key issue or anything, but I picked it because I really love the symbiote Spider-Man suit, and it is like one of my favorite Spider-Man suits of all time. So I just love this cover so much. And also, I'm gonna mention the fact that it is a John Byrne cover, so this one means a lot to me. And I just love that he kind of blends in with the rest of the background. It's really cool. So, number 23 is Amazing Spider-Man number 375. Of course, because Venom is like one of Spidey's main villains. So, and also this ties into the Lethal Protector run of Venom too. So, I'm really hoping that all the rumors are true and that we will see Spider-Man and Venom interact in the MCU or just in any movie. I don't care whether it's Sony or Disney. I just want to see these two characters go at it. So I had to bring this up. Plus, it's a foil cover, and it's beautiful. Alright. So, number 22. Although I don't really know a lot about these characters, but after seeing the two movies that were made about them, it really piqued my interest. So I began picking some of their comics up, and I stumbled across this, and it is Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. So we see Yondu right there, who I really loved in the movies. He was cool. And also this is first appearance of Taserface, which Rocket makes fun of him in the second movie, which was probably one of the funniest and just the best parts of that movie. I love it. Alright. Coming in at number 21 is another first appearance, and it's one of my favorite. She's become one of my favorite Marvel female characters, and so when I found this, I had to get it because this is Secret War number 2, and this is the first appearance of Daisy Johnson, also known as Quake. And if you guys know me by now, or if you've seen my cosplay, you know that I cosplay as Daisy Johnson for Quake. And so when the show first came out, I did not know anything about Daisy Johnson at all. But when her character finally was like confirmed and everything, I was like, oh, so she seems pretty cool. So I did some research and I found just some comics about her and just got them all, and this was one of them. So yeah, she makes appearance in this, and I know her presence is very well known in S.H.I.E.L.D. since she becomes like the youngest agent ever to get level 10 security access within S.H.I.E.L.D. So that's pretty impressive, if you ask me. Alright, coming into number 20 is X-Men number 1, and this is really amazing run, and I got it signed by one and only Jim Lee at Comic-Con. He came to Baltimore a couple years ago, and I waited in line for I can't remember how long it was, but it was a long time just to get him to sign this. So, and also Magneto, another villain I can't wait to see show up at some point. So, had to include this in the list. Number 19 is the New Mutants, number 87. And I'm pretty sure this is a second printing of this issue, since the background is gold. And if I'm wrong about that, just correct me. I'm sorry. Still learning. But I know this is the first appearance of Cable, another awesome character, and I really loved seeing him in Deadpool 2. I think it was brilliant. And again, Josh Brolin killed it. So, yeah. Alright, number 18 is Uncanny X-Men number 283, and this is the first appearance of Bishop, who is right here. And I love that Storm is like challenging, looks like she's challenging him on this cover. But from what I know about him, he can be pretty dangerous. So, and I know that we saw him briefly in Days of Future Past, the X-Men movie, which actually is one of my favorite X-Men movies that ever came out of all of them. So, maybe we'll get to see him again someday, hopefully. Number 16, or no, 17, sorry. Number 17 is Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man number 64, and this is actually the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger, which I think they're a very interesting duo, and I know that they had a show a couple years ago that went for 2 seasons, and it was very different from a lot of the other Marvel shows, but I enjoyed it. So, Cloak and Dagger facing off against Spidey. So, and I love that they're a duo that's like completely opposite. He is darkness and she's light, and somehow they manage to work together to fight crime. I love it. So number 16 is Amazing Spider-Man King Size Annual number 16, and this is the first appearance of Captain Marvel. Actually, the original Captain Marvel. That's not what I meant. It's Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. There we go. Sorry. So, we got to see Captain Marvel, well, not Captain Marvel, Monica in WandaVision, which was really cool to see. So and given the events of WandaVision, I cannot wait to see her in the next Captain Marvel movie, or the Marvels, I should say. So she's gonna be cool. I already love her character, so I can't wait. So number 15 is Avengers number 144, and this is a key issue. The first appearance I got a while ago, and this is the first appearance of Hellcat, or Patsy Walker. And from what I know about her, she is actually kind of underrated in my opinion. I know that I've seen her in the Jessica Jones TV series on Netflix, which is one of my favorites. But I know that she's not necessarily like in the comics, she's not necessarily best friends with Jessica Jones like she is in the TV series. They kind of changed that. I know that she's best friends with She-Hulk in the comics and a few other people, but I'm really glad that we got to see some iteration of her in some way. And I know that they teased this suit in the show, which I really loved that they did that. Number 14 is another Submariner issue, but it has a villain on it this time, and that is one of my favorite villains of all time, Dr. Doom. So that would be a very interesting fight to see, honestly. So alright. So number 13. We're almost done, guys. This is Spider-Man number 1, and this is probably one of the most classic covers you'll ever see. And this is the Todd McFarlane run of Fantastic Four. I'm sorry, Spider-Man. And I know I could have taken this out of the bag, but I wanted to keep it in because it's definitely is a collector's item. It's like probably one of the most recognizable Spider-Man covers of all time. So I decided to keep it in here for safekeeping. And I did recently get another cover just like this, but it's a different Spider-Man suit that was used. Alright. Coming in at number 12 is probably one of my favorite characters in Spider-Verse, other than Spider-Man, and that is Spider-Woman, who I also cosplay as. So this is Spider-Woman number 1. This is not her first appearance, but the first issue of her own series. So once I was able to find this, I had to get it right away, because I love it. And I love her as a character. And again, I think she's very underrated, and if they bring her into the MCU, I'm gonna flip out, because she's awesome. Alright. And also, another character I cannot wait for is this one right here. Like, as I said before. And this is number 11, and this is the first issue of She-Hulk. And I love this cover as well. I got this one at Comic-Con quite a few years ago. I got a bargain for it, so I'm glad I have this now, because I know her show is coming out probably next year, so definitely not getting rid of this. Alright, so now we are on to the top 10 comics in my comic collection. So let's go. So coming in number 10 is actually the first appearance of Spider-Woman, so I was able to find her first appearance finally. And this is Marvel Spotlight number 32, and it's first appearance of Spider-Woman. And I find it interesting that her, like, at first her hair wasn't coming, like, out of her costume like you see in this cover. In this one, her mask entirely covers her whole head, pretty much, so her hair isn't showing. And I love that Nick Fury makes an appearance too. Alright, so if you've seen my recent videos that I've posted on here, you know that I've gotten several graded comics recently, and so pretty much all of them are in the top 10 now. Not just because they're graded, but because they mean a lot to me in some way, shape, or form. So coming in at number 9 is once again Spider-Woman. I was able to get this quite a few years ago. This is, I think, one of the first few graded comics I got. And I know this isn't like an older Spider-Woman comic, but it's Spider-Woman number 1, and it's actually signed by the cover artist, Greg Land, as you can see. And it's also graded at a 9.8, so that's a pretty big deal in my opinion. And also Spider-Man Silk, Spider-Man Noir, and Black Cat Noir, and Spider-Woman, Gwen Stacy, and also Spider-Girl all make an appearance in this comic, so a lot of Spider-Verse characters show up. So y'all know how much Spider-Verse means to me, so I had to get it. Coming in at number 8 is another character that I've really come to love over the years, and she's just really awesome, and I love her. So this is All New Wolverine number 1, and this is X-23, or Laura Kinney as the new Wolverine. So just like Logan, she's basically the same, and I love her for that. So I had to get this. Alright. This comic I actually got at the Comic-Con that I just went to. It is the first appearance, and it's number 7 on my list. So this is Fantastic Four number 45, and that is the first appearance of the Inhumans. And I think the Inhumans are interesting. They're, of course, not my favorite group of characters within Marvel, but I think they deserve a lot more credit than what people give them. And I'm not even gonna mention the Inhuman show that came out about them, because that show did not do these characters justice at all. So the Inhumans have a lot of history with, of course, Fantastic Four, considering one of them dated Johnny Storm. So I really hope that Marvel reconsiders trying the Inhumans out again in the MCU at some point, because I think they deserve a better introduction than the TV show did. So I'm really glad I got this comic, because it's pretty cool. Among Us hide the Inhumans. Coming in at number 6 is an older comic that I got graded, and well, I didn't get it graded, I bought it graded, and this is Fantastic Four number 280. It's a 9.8, and it is an appearance of Psycho Man and the Hate Monger, and also an appearance of Malice, Mistress of Hate, who is the dark side of Sue Richards' Invisible Woman. And also, I just want to mention that I love this cover a lot. Not because, it's not just because of the fact it's Fantastic Four, but also, like, it kind of reflects what's happening in, like, the story itself, and also within Invisible Woman herself. Like, there's a lot going on emotionally within her, and I think that really reflects on this cover. So I'm really glad that I was able to get this. So we are now in the top 5, y'all, and I had to include this next comic in the top 5 because she is another one of my favorite queens of Marvel. So this is Miss Marvel number 1. That is the first Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel, which was her original name before she became Captain Marvel. So, and also I'm not sure what a lot of other people think about her costume, but I kind of like it. I've liked all of her costumes, I think, but either way, I'm really excited that I got my hands on this. So for it being a 7.0, it's in pretty good condition actually, and I didn't have to pay like a fortune for it either, so I'm thankful for that at least. Alright, coming in at number 4 is like one of my favorite covers of Spider-Man of all time, and that is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, and also includes one of my favorite suits, the Symbiote Spider-Man suit, and is an origin and first full appearance of Venom, otherwise known as Eddie Brock. So this is probably one of my favorite comics in my collection, for one, because it's Spider-Man, and 2, it's just amazing. I don't know how else to put it other than that. So I was really happy to get that one. Alright, we are in the top 3 now. So these next 3 comics were very hard to like put them in order, but I ultimately decided to make this one number 3, and that is Amazing Spider-Man number 121. And the only reason why I put it at number 3 is because of how sad the origins, the story is, and what happens in this issue is just heartbreaking. Despite how important it was in Peter's life, and how life-changing this story was, it is still heartbreaking. And yeah, so it's if you didn't know, it's the death of Gwen Stacy, who was basically the love of his life, and by the hands of the Green Goblin, and it was unfortunate and sad. And but one thing I will say is that I really love this cover and like the suspense that it shows, like, because you don't really know who dies. Like, when you first look at this cover, it's like someone close to me is about to die, but someone I can't save, but who is it? And like that's the whole thing. Like, we don't find out who it is until like the very end. And that's one thing I love about comics, is like the cover of it, of any issue, can show, like, it can foreshadow anything basically. And I think that's really cool. Alright, so coming in number 2 is another graded comic I got recently, and this character we'll be seeing very soon in the MCU, and I can't wait. So I saw this and I had to get it. So this is Avengers number 8, and is the first appearance of Kang the Conqueror. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. Not just because of his reaction or interactions with the Avengers themselves, but like when the Fantastic Four come in the mix, that's gonna be very interesting. Assuming that he's still around, which I hope he is. But I had to get this because I think he's a really awesome villain, and so yeah. Alright, and coming in at number 1 is one that I'm super excited that I got my hands on. It's one I've been wanting for a while, and so top comic in my collection is Fantastic Four number 52, and this is the first appearance of the one and only Black Panther. So I still can't believe I'm holding this right now. I mean, I love Black Panther. He's a great character, and I'm really glad that they introduced him in the movies. And rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. He killed that role. Like, he nailed it. Like, no one else can. They really can't replace Chadwick Boseman. He nailed that role. Like, it's like no one else can be Black Panther, or no one else can be T'Challa. So this is his first appearance, and also the Inhumans make an appearance. But just the fact that he was introduced in the Fantastic Four run, that also like really excites me about his appearance. But also, like, most of you probably know I love cats, so like any like cat related character I love. So Black Panther is really cool to me. So yeah, that is my top comic, in my opinion, in my whole collection. And like I said, this was very difficult to go through all my comics that I have and pick out the ones that mean the most to me. But I've seen other people do these types of videos, but I wanted to share my picks with all of you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I want to thank you guys for sticking around this long. I know this was a longer video than I usually do, but I appreciate y'all being here and watching and supporting me. It truly means the world to me. Just be sure to like and subscribe for more fantastic videos, and I do have some plans for more videos down the road, so just bear with me. But yeah, this was fun. I didn't realize how many comics I actually had until I went through all of these. But yeah, I keep buying more, so. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay fantastic, y'all. Peace.